Cyberpunk 2 will be different than Cyberpunk 2077. In fact, it will be changed forever. Well, it's not there yet, but it will be completely different than the last Cyberpunk game in one regard. Stay tuned for all the info. What's up, guys? I'm Franky Boy. On this channel covering everything regarding open world games such as The Witcher, Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed. Welcome and hello to the party. Super happy to have you guys here, and I'm recently covering The Witcher again, and right now I'm super happy to talk about Cyberpunk. I found this on the German gaming website Game to See, which actually is my website. I found it there. But the source is a pretty decent source because it's CD Projekt Red themselves, and they talked about the future of Cyberpunk 2, the next Cyberpunk. While it is not out yet, they said, yep, we definitely want to change some things regarding the origin of the character. The plan for Cyberpunk 2077 was the following, like Corpo Street Kid Nomad, and they should like be that guy that came there, but the quest design was somehow meant to be like, yep, you will leave that origin behind and start your new journey, and everyone was like this standard V that simply went through the story and did everything. And in their podcast, they talked about, yep, that's the case for Cyberpunk 2077. We wanted to deliver more than that, but we decided to deliver that, maybe because of technical limitations. I can totally see that. By the way, epic Witcher weapon in the Cyberpunk, like Windblade, very nice one. But the interesting part is their goals for Cyberpunk 2, the next Cyberpunk. And that is so awesome. For the next Cyberpunk, they're aiming for 3 different stories. So, well, let's not say 3 different, but 1 story per background. So the story should really be different. You should really be tied and connected to your origin somehow and have a different story developing from that origin. And that sounds super interesting in my opinion. And the first thing that comes to my mind is extremely hard to achieve. How would you do that with the technical limitations right now? And we know they are still working on The Witcher 4 with almost all of their employees, and really no one is working on the next Cyberpunk. Except for some which are in the early conceptual stages, and that's where they are right now. So they're setting their goals and they're checking what can we do, what do we want to achieve, and how could we achieve that. So they're not even thinking about, hey, are we gonna use first person or third person? And I know third person has a huge loving community out there, including me. I always love like Geralt of Rivia from third person camera. You see the awesome armor, it looks nice, and yeah, the armor in Cyberpunk looked trash, but they fixed that as well. So 3 different origins. My mind immediately comes to AI generated. I don't know why, but I think it needs to be generated in some kind of way if you want to interact with different things in different ways. Or if it's just the origin, I'd like maybe 3 main quests that you could like pick one of by choosing your path. That could be another opportunity. But I think it wouldn't be the perfect fit for the game. It would be very nice for replayability, one thing for sure, but 3 main quests separately designed, or maybe, okay, let's brainstorm, maybe those 3 quest lines, they come together at some point, and in your playthrough you meet like the other V, or let's say X, who would be the main character if you chose to be that other one. And you might even fight each other or fight together and then tear apart again. And in your next playthrough, you see your older yourself and you meet that person again. That could be also a very interesting approach. Didn't come to my mind further. But yeah, I think that could be an awesome opportunity. The problem I see is expectation management. And they failed on expectation management for Cyberpunk 2077. They set the expectations to the sky, to the limit, and they delivered a nice, decent game for PC, a technical disaster for consoles, and they fixed that 3 years later with an awesome DLC, with awesome patches, with awesome balancing changes, etc. And everything is nice now, but it didn't be that back then. So I see a lot of problems, and I'm super curious how they think they are gonna fix that and how they're gonna achieve all of those goals. And Just remember, guys, set your expectations right, because I am in a hype stage again right now. And when I think of that, I think it's unhealthy for myself, because I might be disappointed at some point. While I am super hyped right now, it could be the wrong approach. It could be the wrong way to go, hyping yourself for a game that is in early concept stages. But I think that approach alone is very new and very unique to video games. Not that different stories aren't told yet in video games, but the fact that they want to deliver like really different content, and how they are delivering that technically could be super interesting, and like maybe a little revolution for the video game industry. I mean, The Witcher 3 is still copied to this day. Some storytelling things or so are still copied to this day. Open world building still copied by Ubisoft, by others, you name them. And they really set a benchmark with Witcher 3. With Cyberpunk, they set some visual benchmarks with the Nvidia Corporation, in my opinion. And with Cyberpunk 2, they want to set a benchmark, I think, in storytelling-wise, and maybe some other things as well, some other USPs that they try to achieve. But to be honest with you guys, I know CD Projekt Red is gonna probably fix mistakes in the games, and we learned that a few times. The Witcher even did not come out perfectly, but you always have to stay like considerably distanced to the product itself, because they failed our trust in Cyberpunk, and we should not forget that until they are back at a stage where they like always deliver. Speaking of delivering, it's 8 p.m. here in Germany. I'm wondering at which time of the day you are actually watching this video, because it's quite late here. It's almost at night and I'm sick, and that's why I'm still working. Does that make sense to you? I think it doesn't make sense to me as well. And by the way, I have super awesome builds for Cyberpunk if you want to play like as a ninja or so. You can totally do that with those mantis blades, etc. But in this case, it's German footage. I didn't notice yet. Sorry for that, guys. By the way, I'm working on a The Witcher 3 tutorial series right now again. It's already coming out, or parts of it are already out there. And if you're planning to play The Witcher 3 right now, that's your best time, I guess. It's winter, it's cozy, you're at home, and the fire is crackling, at least in your mind. I don't have an oven, sadly. Is it called oven? Nah, I think oven is used for cooking, right? But yeah, I could totally recommend you guys to try out and play The Witcher 3 in wintertime, yeah? While it's freezing, it's super cozy, it's a nice game, and go to Skellige Islands and you're gonna love it. For me, Cyberpunk 2 is setting my expectations very high. I feel the hyping coming up in me again, and I think it's not healthy for myself, because I might get disappointed. But the ideas, they are great, and I think they are worth talking about. So we might actually get a product that could be the next real thing on PlayStation 6 or so. My expectation for a release of the next Cyberpunk is like in 10 years or so. Maybe that could be achieved. I'm not 100% sure that right now. As said before, they are working on the next Witcher Polaris, I think, or was it Sirius? Not too sure, let's call it Witcher 4, and they probably deliver a very nice game there. The Witcher 3 is still my favorite game, and I'm super in love with that one. Yep, nice podcast right here, new information, and wasn't seen by that many people. I think like 2,000 people watched the podcast, and I'm gonna spread the message they did. I think it's the most interesting part of the podcast, like that one information. Sometimes podcasts are very nice as sources for content, because developers, etc., they casually drop a thing. I remind myself when I had this interview with Tobias. Let me show you. I was interviewing Tobias Stolz-Zwilling by the Warhorse Studios. You might know him. He's the marketing manager for Warhorse on Kingdom Come Deliverance. And I simply just asked them, yeah, tell me about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And he was just laughing. I can talk about anything unannounced. And the press went wild. At least some press outlets went wild on that particular information, and I thought it was really funny. We met at Cologne and I'm a huge fan of Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's why I of course had to ask this guy back then. In case you were wondering, it's on my German channel, so you won't understand the language anyways. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I am super happy to present you some late night news for me, some late night Cyberpunk stuff. Maybe check out that video where I tell you about Cyberpunk something. Let me pick a video for you and that one is recommended to you. Super happy to have you here on the channel and see you later.